Not So Average Builder is sponsored by USAGundamStore.com, bringing the hobby to your front door. Use promo code NOTSOAVERAGE and get 10% off your next order. Today, we combine the world of miniatures with the world of gunpla. Hey guys, Tom here, and this is Not So Average Builder, and today we are going to be doing something awesome. We're going to be painting the pilots that come with the Perfect Grade Strike Freedom. Now, I'm doing the Perfect Grades pilots because I'm going to completely paint the entire portion of the kit, or the entire part of the kit. I know that makes sense. I'm going to be painting the whole kit. That includes the base that it comes on, the pilot, everything, every aspect of it is going to be painted. Now, I know that the HGs and the real grades, because they are 1/44 scale, it's maybe a little difficult to paint the figures, but definitely try. I mean, don't think that you cannot do something. There's nothing in this industry that you cannot do. It just takes time, it takes practice, it takes patience. Those are things that you can learn over time, but they are very doable. It may be a pain in the butt, but it is very, very doable. So definitely don't skimp on something. Try, give it a shot. If you fail the first time, put it down. On the next one, try again. You just got to keep trying. I'd like to take a moment to talk about my 300 subscriber giveaway. I'm dangerously close to that mark. I'm at like 273, I think. So I'm really close. And that is all thanks to you guys who have subscribed. And if you're just tuning into this channel, please consider subscribing. Just hit the little button down below and ring the bell to be notified when another video drops. And if you like this video, definitely do not forget to hit the like button. And if you have any questions or anything you want to see, drop a comment down below. May not answer them all. I always do it. It kind of makes my wife mad, but I make sure that I do it. It's all that matters. And I want to thank a couple of cool people, my patrons, Chris D and Fiddlesworth Frank, for being awesome still and being one of my patrons. And if you'd like to become one of my patrons, it is patreon.com/NotSoAverageBuilder. I'll put that right there, and there'll also be a link in the description below. It is a way to give back to the community by being able to do more things. 100% of that is going to go towards the channel itself, buying new equipment, buying better kits, buying new tools, things to try out that you may not have wanted to, you didn't bite the bullet on because you weren't sure about it. I want to be that person that talks you into it because of how awesome it is. It's just it. I mean, I want to get more people into this hobby that would never ever get into this hobby because they were scared or nervous or something like that. And that's where you come in by helping me grow the channel so I can reach more people and get more people into this wonderful hobby. But without further ado, let's jump straight into this and get this figure painted. Be one more step on the Perfect Grade, almost done. I'm done with the inner frame. It is painted. Now, I will have to say, I ordered something special. And those of my people who listen or watch regularly, who actually watch, this is a test. I ordered LEDs, little Pico ones, for the head, for all those things. Thanks to Utaku Builder. It's a shout out to you, man. You talked me into it. I ordered some today. I'm excited. Because that LED puck that comes with the Perfect Grade nah, I don't want one color. I want multiple colors. I want them all. I want all the colors. But yes, I've rambled on enough. Let's jump in. Alright, so you've got all the base colors blocked in. Very simple, just take your time. That's the key element of this. Always take your time. Now there are some imperfections. You can kind of see right there where the white has kind of bled over in that little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little ridge down there. And the white has kind of bled over into that. Not a big deal. What we're going to do is we're going to wash this figure. But the main thing that we don't want to do right now is wash it right after you've painted it. This has had a little bit of time to dry, but the paint is matte. And it's going to want to cling and completely stain everything that we're working on. We don't want that. We want it to discolor it a bit, but we definitely don't want it to stain everything. And so there's like a lot of little detail right there on his chest that you can't even see. We're going to fix that. But first, you need to make this a smooth surface. The only way to do that is by clear coating. Now you can use rattle cans if you don't have an airbrush. Perfectly fine, it'll work the same way. Or I'm going to use this. This is Vallejo's gloss varnish. I'm going to use this and some airbrush thinner to get it to kind of dry a little bit quicker. And I'm going to put it on this and this one. This one's not the greatest towards the bottom. I'm not worried about that at all because 90% of this is going to be hidden at all times. I did do something a little cool. I left the visor white and I just used Tamiya clear blue. Just one coat, put it over top of that. Kind of gives it that visory look. But we're going to take these two and we're going to gloss them up. So let's finish that up. Since I don't need a whole lot, I'm literally just going to put a couple of drops down in there. Actually, always shake your stuff. Now it looks very milky and white, but I promise you it will dry clear. Take some airbrush thinner. This is cleaner, but it's thinner as well. Just a couple of drops. Take an old paintbrush. Stir it up. You wondered about the consistency of whole milk? I will have to say that when I started airbrushing, I didn't understand what that was. Like, I knew what the consistency of whole milk was, but I really didn't understand how to make it that way. After airbrushing for a couple of months now, I learned what that is, and it is actually really, really simple to do. You just gotta kind of push yourself to keep trying, and that's what I had to do. Alright, so now that everything is dry, he's not tacky, he's not sticky, he's shiny though, which is perfect. That's what you want. You're going to need a couple of things. I'm using the Army Painter washes. These things are awesome. GW makes some washes, and Vallejo also makes some washes, but these are what I had on hand. The body, other than the face and the hair, I'm going to be using a little bit of dark tone, a little bit of blue tone, and I'm going to cut it with some gloss medium so that it doesn't just kind of run everywhere and stain. And the gloss surface and the gloss medium are really going to help. Now, Army Painter makes their own wash medium that's a gloss that helps that, but this works just the same. And for the skin, I'm going to use Army Painter's Flesh Wash. Now, I do have GW's Flesh Wash lying around, but these are easier because they're squeeze bottles. I still have to transfer all of my GW stuff into bottles like this, but I've not done that. You will need a cheap brush. You always have a pack of cheap brushes that are pretty much ruined and can't be used anymore. I have my cheap brush. Boom, look at that, it looks terrible. Perfect for what we need. Move this guy out the way, knock this stuff over, seems fair. Move this stuff back. That's what we'll do. Now, since most of this kit, and especially on this one, it's all going to be that blue, I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. So I'm just going to take, you don't want to mix these up too well, just lightly shake them. And I'm going to put a couple of drops down in there of the blue. I'm only going to put one drop of the black. I don't want to make it too black. There we go. It's really thick and obnoxious. Now normally you would do this in a very small container so that you didn't do what I'm doing and move it all around. So let's take our miniature, and remember, we're only going to put it on here. But we're just going to liberally put it all over everything. All of the blue and white parts, even the black parts. And it's going to deepen that look. And this is going to be good. You want it to kind of darken the recesses, shade areas that need to be shaded, so on and so forth. And what this is going to do is it's going to pick out certain areas that you need them to pick out. Go into highlighting. See, now you can actually see all of the little details on the figure. I definitely don't want it to pool up, but that's perfect. So I'll let that dry. Now for the face, we're going to do just a straight flesh wash. Move this in shot. Just going to use a couple drops of this. Excess off because you don't want to get the brown where you don't want it. I got way too much on my brush. And now, once this dries, it'll matte back down. Even with the gloss medium, it'll still matte back down. But now you can see all the little detail that you couldn't see before. And now that has paved the way for the highlighting stage. You've got the folds in the shirt, the wrinkles in the pants that you couldn't see before. You don't have to do this. You could literally leave it like this and be just fine. But I want to take it one step further and combine miniatures with gunpla. Especially with the perfect grade. This figure was just too big to not paint. So let me let this dry, and the next time you see this, we'll be ready for the highlight stage. Alright, well, everything is dry. I forgot because I used the gloss medium that it would not dry matte, which isn't a big deal. Still kind of paves the way, and it'll make things easier for when you start doing the highlighting. Here comes the fun part. Make sure you thin your paints. You always want to do that. I'm just going to use the white for an example. And what you're going to do is you're going to focus more towards where the light would catch and use the wash that you did as a shade or a recess shade. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to go over the whole miniature with the different colors. And you're going to pick out the raised areas and bring those back to. Let that dry for a few minutes. And that's done. Normally, like if this was a bigger figure, I would spend a lot more time making sure that the highlight stage was good, but I'm not too worried about it because of the size of this thing, and the focal point's not going to be the figure. The focal point's going to be the kit itself. This is just going to be standing there. So depending on where your focal point's going to be, because you don't want too much going on. But this will dry for a few minutes, and then it'll be ready for the final process, and that is some matte varnish, and that's it. Just like that, the figure is painted. The final matte coat has been applied. I just finished it, but it did pretty well, and it's pretty dull. It's doing exactly what you want it to do. These things are ready to go on the, well, this one's ready to go in the pilot or in the cockpit, and this one's going to stand outside of it. Even using both of these, I'm still going to use the pilot just because it's going to be in there, and if I ever decided to pose it and not use this guy, I've already got this guy in here. Always plan ahead for changes, because as a modeler, that's one of the things we always do. But that is where I'm going to end the video. It is very, very simple to do. Just take some time, you know, go slow about it. It's tedious work, but it can be done. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any questions about this, feel free to drop a comment below, right down there. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.